Hey, what's up you guys? ShartimusPrime here, doing another McFarlane Toys action figure review on two pieces sold separately, but in one review we have the animated series DC Multiverse Batman and the DC Multiverse Classic Harley Quinn. Trying to get your new DC Multiverse figures? You can do so at
Big. Get your big badass toys at BigBadToyStore.com. Click the link in the description below.
I gotta give a big thanks to McFarlane Toys for making this review possible and sending out these products my way to review for you guys. If you want to see the latest from McFarlane Toys, be sure to check the link in the description below. And very cool looking figures so far already. Cannot wait to open them. On the side it says Harley Quinn Classic, which should also be animated series because she was created for the animated series, right? But anyway, it says Batman the animated series right there. And then on the back you can see an image from the animated series, and then right here this is Harley Quinn from a 2002 comic, so you can see that they have their sources on the side right there, and then you can see the other figures from the wave on the back. There is a Birds of Prey Harley Quinn image on the back of each of these, but I don't see that figure around, so I'm kind of curious about that. Anyway, on the side you can see it says Harley Quinn, and then there's Batman. Then the window goes all the way up to the top right over there. Not much more at the bottom. Let's get to it and crack these things open. And here's Batman and Harley Quinn out of the packaging, and both good looking figures. I like what I'm seeing over here, just aesthetics wise. I like what I see. For the most part, we get really good paint apps on all of these McFarlane DC Multiverse figures, and these look very clean. I do have nitpicks with these figures. I have some scaling issues and things like that, so we'll get into that in a moment. But first, let's take a closer look at the accessories, and then we'll take a closer look at Batman and Harley. So here's everything that we get with both of these figures. You can see that we get our standard issue McFarlane DC Multiverse stand. You can see the DC logo right there, and you get a peg sticking up right there. Then each of them come with their own trading card, and yeah, these both look really good. I like the images right over here. Now it says Classic Harley Quinn, and this is a 2002 comic. But anyway, there's a read-up over here on Harley Quinn. If you'd like to read it, go ahead and pause it right now. And then here's the read-up on the animated series Batman. So if you want to take a look at those specs and the read-up, go ahead and pause it right now. And then you can see that image of Batman again. Very nice looking. And then as far as the other accessories go, we do get a grapple gun for Batman. So I think that's really cool. I really like this a lot with the silver paint right over here. It's more of like a gunmetal gray color. I like that. The nice red over here on the sides. And then you get another big old thick hockey puck kind of batarang over here, which kind of just throws me off. It's just way too thick. It's like he's going to club people over the head with it rather than, you know, like slashing hands and making people drop their weapons. So, you know, I wish this was a bit thinner. And then you get two sets of interchangeable hands. You get weapon holding hands right here, which unfortunately don't have the proper gesture for holding this specific grapple gun, right? This is supposed to, you know, lay in between the middle finger and the ring finger like that, you know, so it's, yeah, he's holding it like it's a regular gun when you put this in his hand. So that's kind of frustrating. I wish they went with a different hand gesture with this, and then you could see, you know, the other fisted hand, the other weapon holding hand. One thing to note is that on just the left weapon holding hand, I had a really hard time getting this on the peg. I had to heat things up, and then when I did, I actually ended up getting a split peg over here. I was able to fix it, you know, it wasn't really that hard, but still pretty annoying. So just a thing to look out for. But again, it wasn't that hard to put back together. Someone had asked in my previous review if it's possible to use the hands from other figures from this line on different figures, and you could see a Superman hand from animated, you know, works fine on this Batman right here, or an Action Comics 1000 hand. Let's see how that fits on here, and it's a tighter fit, but you could still get this on there. Ooh, you can see that peg, you know, poking through the plastic. Not good. And then we don't get interchangeable hands for Harley Quinn, but man, I love these two accessories. I love the smile right over here. The sculpt on the wood for this mallet looks great. It's just incredibly realistic looking with all these wood grain lines sculpted in here. That looks remarkable. I'm really impressed with that. Nice paint apps on here too. I like this a lot. That is really cool. I really like the mallet. I guess maybe it could be bigger. You can't go too big with the Harley Quinn mallets, but I kind of like that it's not super huge or anything so that, you know, she can't hold it around. Oh man, and I love the paint detail right here on the strap. That looks very cool. Kind of reminds me of Walking Dead figures, you know, or the ones that they were doing for a little bit. You get some nice wood grain right over here. The sculpt, so yeah, really nice accessory. Really love the mallet. And then you also get the bang gun right over here. I don't know, this angle is just a little bit weird, but anyway, it still looks very cool. I like the silver paint right here, nice brown. You know, the bang looks really nice, so I like that. Can you take this out? I don't think you can. Nope. And then Harley does have kind of like these trigger finger hands, which work for both weapons, so she can hold this just fine, and you can give her the mallet, and she holds this just fine as well, so that's cool. So here's here's Harley Quinn next to the source image, and this looks like a Terry Dodson image, right? And this figure does not look Terry Dodson inspired at all. It does look Batman animated series inspired, as that is the classic Harley Quinn. Now, this head sculpt does mostly look very good to me. I do like this. However, I am missing paint for her upper lip, and that's been throwing me off for a while, and I couldn't figure out what it was, but yeah, she doesn't have an upper lip painted, so that does bother me, but I do like the tiny little nose. The paint apps for the eyes look very clean. I like how the white paint for her face looks very clean, along with the red and black right over here. I'm not seeing any red or black running into the white, so I really like that. We get this glossy white right over here for her little tassel bells right over here, a little ball, tassel balls right there. And same thing for the whole neck collar. I can't remember the name of these things off the top of my head. What's wrong with me, man? And then looking right here, you can see we get the diamonds right there. And we get the diamonds on the forearm. Then here's looking at the cuffs, looking pretty good. Very, very tapered in waist right there. Back looks nice and clean. She does have very wide hips. I've heard people complain about that, and if you want to hear me complain about it, well, you've come to the wrong YouTube channel, because I have no complaints about this at all whatsoever. That is just fine with me. I'm very happy with that. I also like the thick legs, so that looks very good. I like the seams sculpted along the side right over here. Nice wrinkles sculpted in there. What kind of bothers me is the way the knee is right here. I don't know. It's kind of bent back right over here with the calf. And looking at the feet right over here, she does have high heels. I don't think she's supposed to have high heels. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I always thought Harley Quinn had, flat soles so she could, hop around and do all her stuff, all her acrobatics. But hey, at least there's peg holes at the bottom of the feet. Pretty good articulation on this Harley Quinn figure. You can get her head to move up just a little bit right here, and you can get the head to move down that much. You get side-to-side motion and great head pivoting. We do have the butterfly joints that shift forward and back and shift up and down. You also get the shoulder joint, so with both of those joints, you can move the arms up that far and down that much. You do get a full 360 rotation right over here. You get a bicep swivel, double jointed elbows on the female figure. Once again, on a Harley Quinn, you get rotation, and then you can hinge up and down or side to side, depending on how you have that joint configured. You get a diaphragm joint that turns side to side, diaphragm pivot, crunches forward a little bit, back a little bit, waist crunch forward, waist crunch back, waist swivel, waist pivot, hips move outward very far. You can see some of the parts right in there, but what are you doing looking inside there, huh, Cochino? You can't move the legs forward just that much, which is not too bad. And then I do like how the nalgas are sculpted right here on the thigh too, so her butt never really disappears, so I think that's kind of neat. You do get a little bit of rotation over here for the upper thigh. Well, not even rotation, it's just shifting. Frustrating. I wish we could get a full-on, thigh cut right there. But anyway, you get double jointed knees, and you do not get the X-Manny 87 heel to butt with them, but very close. Ankles do move down. They move up very far. You get side-to-side rotation, beautiful ankle pivot, and toe articulation. And then here's Batman next to the source image, and you can see that the eyes on this image look a lot larger than what we're seeing on this figure. I've heard a lot of people mention that already. I'm kind of disagreeing with that. I do see that we get a fairly large eyepiece sculpted right here, but the thing that I think is kind of hurting this is that I think that they had sculpted in the eye socket just way too deep. I mean, look at where the face ends underneath the mask, and look how deep those eyes are recessed into the figure. So it's just making that white paint disappear right there, and it's just making the eyes look a lot smaller than they actually are on this side. If I get this light in here, you can see his right eye a lot better. See, so they're pretty evenly really recessed in there, and that's just making the eyes look a lot smaller than they should. Also, I had tiny little, pieces of flesh paint right over here and right over here, which I mostly scraped off with a fingernail, so it wasn't that bad. But other than that, I actually like this piece. I know, I have gripes, but I still like it. I think the huge chin right here reminds me of the animated series, so I do dig how this looks for the most part. This whole bat logo on the chest, I thought that would be a lot more warped, but nope, it just doesn't really look that weird to me having it in person. I actually like this. This part of it looks just fine to me, so I'm happy with that. And the arms do look familiar, but they are different. You can see we get the little spikes right over here. I think this one's all warped. I got to heat this one up. And you can see those ball joints sticking out. It's got a little bit of a groove right there for the abs. Utility belt looks pretty good. I'm not seeing any bleeding or anything like that, so I dig that. Got to give McFarlane Toys credit for the clean paint apps for the most part, There are parts here and there where things don't fall through, but still, mostly looks really good. I like the cape, and I gotta say, I really like how the cape came out. That nice blue paint right there on the inside of it just looks great to me, so I'm really pleased with that. And you can see these tiny little legs right here, which we expect to see from this animated series design from Bruce Timm. And then you can see we also get peg holes at the bottom of the feet. Now, the articulation on this Batman is not too different from the Superman and Green Lantern animated figures. You can move the head up just a little bit. You can see it's kind of slowly moving back down, but it'll stay up just that much. Ooh, that's what he said. Anyway, you can move the head down just a little bit. You do get some side-to-side motion over here, but it's on this weird kind of tilt swivel thing as you turn it side to side, so that could be a little annoying. And you do get some head tilting right over here as well, or head pivoting anyway. You do have the butterfly joints right here. They tend to get stuck on me a little bit, but you can shift forward and back, and you can't really shift up and down as much. The cape really does hinder that articulation right there, so you can only really move that shoulder joint right here outward that far. We'll move down, rotate forward, rotate back, bicep swivel. Single jointed elbows. I don't like the little ratchet shape that we're seeing in that elbow right there. And you get wrists that turn side to side. They hinge up and down or horizontally depending on how you have that configured. You do have the limited diaphragm joint. It does turn side to side, but no ab crunch forward. It shifts back just a little bit, and it does have some pivot. Then the waist joint does not crunch forward at all, so zero ab crunch forward on this guy. Back just a tiny bit, a little bit of waist articulation right there, and waist pivoting, or when I say waist articulation, waist swivel anyway. Hips move outward very far, and you can get them to kick very far forward and back, and just a little bit of shifting at the upper thigh or at the hip. I wish he had actual thigh cuts. And then you do get double jointed knees right here, and then the ankles do move down. They move up. You could rotate side to side. You have beautiful ankle pivot and toe articulation. Now, to measure out these two figures, you can see that Batman is standing just a little over the 7-inch mark, and it looks like Harley Quinn is right at 7 inches or just under the 7-inch mark. So while Batman is still taller than Harley Quinn, I just feel like he's standing too much taller than Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn should be a little bit shorter, no? Right? And then for a size comparison, we have the DC Collectibles animated series Batman next to the McFarlane version, and then we have the McFarlane Harley Quinn next to the animated series Harley Quinn from DC Collectibles. And yeah, man, I mean, these figures are so much smaller and have so much less articulation in them. I do like the color scheme more on this figure right here. I don't know, it's that bluish gray, does remind me of the show more so than just the regular gray that we're getting right over here. Now, if you're thinking that the older DC Collectibles figures are better than these, I have to disagree with you. I just think these ones are a whole lot better. These were super fragile too, man, so not very well articulated, and they're very easy to scuff, very easy to break. They had a lot more accessories, but there just was not a whole lot you could do with them, but you can see that we do get the proper gesture right over there for the grappling gun. And then here's our McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Batman and Harley Quinn next to Mattel's DC UC Harley Quinn and Classic Batman, and I believe these are both Wave 1 figures, if not like really at the very beginning of Mattel's DC UC line, these figures came out, right? So I don't know, I just feel kind of old right now because I remember when these first started hitting stores, and then yeah, now they're done. So it's just kind of a trip for me to see this whole line come and go from Mattel. And then here's the Harley Quinn and Batman figures next to our other animated DC Multiverse McFarlane figures. We have Superman and Green Lantern, and unfortunately it does look like Superman is the shortest out of these three. I mean, it looks like he's barely equally as tall as Harley Quinn over there. So, oh man, yeah, the scaling on these figures is just not right. How could you make Superman smaller than Batman and Green Lantern, Todd, huh? Damn it, Todd, don't you know it's Superman? It'd be kind of funny to just blame all the problems, like, specifically on Todd McFarlane himself. And then here's Harley Quinn and Batman next to the rest of the figures from this McFarlane DC Multiverse line that I've already reviewed. We have the Superman Unchained Armor right over here. We have Action Comics 1000 Superman. We have Detective Comics 1000 Batman. And then we have the Hellbat suit Batman right there. Now, if you're going to say this is a legit comic version of Harley Quinn, I mean, even compared to the legit comic version of Superman right here, she's way too tall. Did I get my message across? She's too tall. And then here's Harley Quinn and Batman next to your average 6-inch scale figure. We have the Marvel Legends Big Time Badass Spider-Man. Whoa, man, you are buffed. Oh, you did not skip leg day. You skipped leg year. Hey, a little tall and a little crazy, but yeah, I'm okay with that. How about you and I? Whoa! Badass. So I'm definitely conflicted with these figures. I gotta say, I do like them, okay? You could disagree with me, especially if you didn't have them in hand. I don't know how your opinion is more valid than mine, but hey, I have them in hand. I like them. Are there flaws? Yes. And I wanted to rate these differently. I was thinking more of a higher rating for the Harley Quinn figure than the Batman, but then I just feel like the Harley Quinn is just way too tall. But regardless, I had fun with these figures. There are things that definitely could be improved upon them. And at the price point of $20 a piece, man, I'm giving these figures a sud rating of...
It's not too bad.
Because I really don't think they're that bad. I mean, really, they do have their flaws, but they are mostly good figures to me, especially at the $20 price point. I'd like to know what you guys think, so please let me know in the comments section below. Hit the like button if you liked this video, and hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell if you have not already. And a big thank you to all these exceptionally awesome people over here that support this YouTube channel over on Patreon. I sincerely appreciate you guys. You are incredible. If you're interested in getting your name on the damn wall, go ahead and check it out. Link in the description below. If you want to see the latest in action figure news, you can find it all over at toynewseye.com. And don't forget to follow me on the Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch. And I'll catch you guys later. Peace!
I'm posing action figures, I'm posing action figures, I'm posing action figures every day. I'm posing action figures, I'm posing action figures, I'm posing action figures, it's okay.
That's crispy.
Hey, new ShartimusPrime videos. Hey, you should click one. Yeah, click on one of them. Or subscribe if you haven't.
Your face,